Hello everyone, and welcome to the March 2023 UK General Election Opinion Poll Tracker video. So it's time to do our monthly video looking at the opinion polls that occurred during February 2023, as well as the next general election prediction from Electoral Calculus based upon those opinion polls, and have a look at government approval and disapproval and whatnot as well. So I should get on with your March tracker video in a moment. To just say that if you're enjoying the content on the channel at the moment, and I know I don't get a chance to upload as much as I should to this channel, but if you are enjoying what I am able to upload, then please can you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so very much, everybody. There will be a mouth cancer vlog coming up in a couple of weeks after I've had my 1 year appointment at NGH. Can you believe it? It's 1 year since I was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma of the tongue and had all of the treatment. Well, the operation, there wasn't a huge amount of treatment involved. I was very lucky. But anyway, the 1 year anniversary video vlog will be coming up towards the end of the month. If you are enjoying the vlogs on the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. Right, we're going to move over to Electoral Calculus then. We're going to have a look at their latest prediction for the next UK general election. So here it is, 3, 2, 1. And Electoral Calculus this month are predicting that Labour will have a majority at the next general election of 318 seats. Remarkable, record-breaking, historic landslide majority that will be way above the 180-seat majority that Labour got in 1997. So I think better go through this prediction, see what's happened. That is a change on last month, by the way. Labour are up 72 seats, I believe, on last month's prediction there of the 250-seat majority, which is already a massive majority, but obviously during February the opinion polls obviously got worse for the Conservatives and better for Labour. So let's have a look at this prediction then. So we've got our party columns just here: Conservative, Labour, Liberal Democrat, etc, etc there. 2019 votes and seats shares just here, and then predicted votes and seat shares just here. So, in the 2019 general election, the Conservatives got 44.7% of the vote, giving them 365 seats. Labour got 33% of the vote, giving them 203 seats. The Liberal Democrats got 11.8% of the vote, giving them 11 seats. Well, on the current prediction, based on the opinion poll conducted during February, the Conservatives have a predicted vote share of 25.8%. Absolutely dreadful for them. It will be the first time, I think, in the UK general election that they're polled under 30% if that came off. Labour predicted to have a vote share of 47% of the vote. Absolutely massive. 22% lead, therefore. Liberal Democrats actually down a little bit on 2019 at 9.1%. Reform, as Brexit parties, it would have been 2019 on 6%, Greens on 5.2%, SNP on 4%, and Plaid on 0.5%. So that gives the Conservatives a central prediction of 84 seats. Yeah, he's right, 84 seats. So under 100 seats, which again would be a historically bad result, obviously. At the low, of course, there is a margin of error with this, so at the low end, the Conservatives could be down to just 32 seats, and they could be as high as 224 seats at the high end. Labour's central prediction is to be on 484 seats. Within the margin of error, they could go down to 347, which still gets them above the all-important 326 to get a majority. So even at the lowest end of the margin of error, they still get a majority, albeit that'll just be quite a small majority, I suppose. And then at the high end, they could be as high as 546, which again would be absolutely remarkable. Liberal Democrats, interesting, they have a central prediction of 18 seats, despite being like 2% lower with their vote share compared to 2019. That's because of tactical voting. Of course, tactical voting looks like it's back in business for the coming election, where Labour voters will vote tactically for the Liberal Democrats in Liberal Democrat and Conservative marginal seats. At the low end, the Liberal Democrats could be as low as 8 seats, and at the high end, they could be as high as 34 seats, which would be, of course, a very good result for them. A Brexit party, despite being on 6% of the vote, only get 0 seats at the central range. They might get 1 seat at the high end. Greens get 1 seat, despite being at 5.2% of the vote. And at the high end of the range are on 1 seat. The low end of the range are on 1 seat. SNP are predicted to get 40 seats. At the high end, they could get 51 seats. At the low end, they could get 19 seats. That's a little bit of a deterioration in the SNP vote share and predicted seat share there, I think, compared to the month before. So that's something to keep an eye on, of course, because Nicola Sturgeon has resigned. They can have a new leader. So the SNP score in terms of their vote share and seats, predicted seats, will be interesting to keep an eye on. And over the next few months. And Plaid forecast to get 4 seats in set prediction. They could be as low as 2 seats. They could be as high as 5 seats. They've of course got the Northern Irish parties down here. So 318 majority. That is 72 up on the prediction from last month. Let's have a look at the polls that that prediction is based upon there. So lots of polls conducted during February. These are all of them. And you can see that from beginning to end, of course, Labour has a lead on all polls. It does vary a little bit. So, I mean, we've got some absolutely enormous Labour leads on some of these polls. So, for example, we've got People polling here giving Labour 50% of the vote, Conservatives 21% of the vote, and that gives Labour an overall lead of 29%. Absolutely enormously. There's also Ipsos MORI, one of the oldest polls. In fact, I think they are the oldest pollster going in the country now, giving Labour 26% lead. Again, absolutely enormously there from Ipsos for Labour, 51 to 25% of the vote there. YouGov, ever reliable YouGov, giving Labour 22% lead, 47% of the vote to 25% of the vote. A few more. We've got Survation here with a 29% vote share for Conservatives, a little bit better Conservative vote share there, but 48% for Labour still, 48% of the vote for Labour still gives them an overall lead of 19%. Again, People polling there with a 27% Labour lead. Some of the pollsters have the lead into the teens. So, for example, let's have a look. We've got Savanta here, Savanta Conres, as it would have been, with a 14% lead for Labour. That's still a big lead, but nowhere near, obviously, as dramatic as some of those polls. And Housing Conservatives on 31% of the vote, crucially back to 30%, with Labour on 45%. So 14% lead for Labour with that one. And again, Savanta just here. They seem to be polling a little bit better for Conservatives, a little bit lower for Labour. So again, Savanta Conres with Conservatives on 29%, Labour on 44%, a 15% lead. There's also DeltaPoll just here with a 15% Labour lead. Conservatives on 31%, Labour on 46%. So some of the pollsters have started to get the Conservatives back to the 30% mark, and that's particularly later on in February, interestingly. There aren't any sort of early on in the month, and then later on, towards month's end, we do see one or two of the pollsters coming in with the Conservatives at 30%. But even those, you know, still have a very significant Labour lead, either sort of 14, 15, 17%. Again, BMG just here, Conservative 29, Labour 46. Overall, Labour lead is 17%. So, you know, quite significant with those, and so either quite significantly with those pollsters like Salanta and whatnot, but other pollsters have absolutely enormously, getting on the upper 20s to 30% mark. This is how the overall graph is looking right now in terms of the opinion polls. You can see that again, Labour with a very, very large lead, but a little bit down on the peak of their lead, which was during the Liz Truss a very short premiership when there was market turmoil and that. So at that point, the Conservative lead absolutely collapses and craters. Since then, Rishi Sunak takes over, and the Conservatives have lifted up ever so slightly, but not by as much, I don't think, as they would have hoped. But changing from Truss to Sunak would have delivered them. And Labour continue with this very large lead, around sort of mid to upper 40%. So the Conservatives generally in most of these polls are somewhere in the mid to upper 20%, Labour generally in the mid to upper 40%. So the lead is roughly around 20%. Of course, there are, some of the pollsters from Ray Dots here have Labour a little bit lower, towards the low end of the 40s. Some of them have Labour into the 50%. And a few of these pollsters do get the Conservatives into the 50% mark. There might just be an ever so slight lift up in the Conservative score there, right at the very end, and that is encompassing the March opinion polls, but I think we've got to wait and see a little bit later, a little bit later on with that. Looks as though basically the Conservatives are flatlining and Labour are flatlining at their high level. Conservatives are flatlining at their level. In terms of approval for Rishi, so people don't think doing all that well. This is the YouGov tracker asking how Rishi's doing in terms of well, badly. You can see that on the last opinion poll, the last time he asked this on the 20th of February, 53% of people thought that Rishi was doing badly, and 29% thought that Rishi was doing well. So an overall score there, what is it, 29, 39, 49. So over 20% think that Rishi is doing badly. In terms of Keir Starmer's approval with YouGov's tracker, he's treading water. He's doing better than he was, definitely. So you can see that through most of 2021 and much of 2022, he's really quite unpopular indeed. Most people, vast majority of people think he did badly compared to well. Around sort of mid to late summer, there is a convergence here, and he's been in that position ever since. So on the latest poll, 39% have been doing badly, 37% have him doing well. Sometimes he goes into a slight lead in terms of well, badly. Other times he goes into goes behind, in terms of well, badly. So he's not the most popular leader of the opposition we've ever had, definitely. But I suppose compared to Rishi anyway, he's doing quite a lot better than him. I think people are still quite sceptical about Keir Starmer. But at the moment, they are much more, sceptical about Rishi and also about the government. So this is YouGov's latest government approval tracker. And again, the government remains very, very, very unpopular. On the last poll, as of 6th of March, 65% showing that they disapprove of the government compared to just 15% approving of the government. Once again, we can see that the government approval and disapproval has a large gap. Once again, we see that the number of people approving of the government is actually under the don't knows. People who haven't got a view one way or t'other, and that is always a very, very bad sign for any government when their approval goes under the don't knows. It's normally curtains for that government, albeit got a little while to the general election, maybe 12 to 18 months, something like that. So there's a bit of time for the Conservatives to improve on that. But overall, the government is and remains extremely unpopular in the doldrums, as it has been, since like the middle of 2021 or into 2022, really. Right, okay, let's just go back to central prediction then. So once again, we can see that the Labour majority is predicted on the latest forecast from Electoral Calculus to be an absolutely enormous 318. By the way, I should just say that once again, at the Conservatives' low end at 32 seats, and the SNP's mid-range at 40 seats, that would see the SNP taking over as the main opposition party from the Conservatives, although the SNP is a Scotland-only seat. That does not matter. If that was, Conservatives got their low-end score of 32 seats, be predicted mid-range score, or indeed the upper range score for the SNP 40 or 51 seats, that would see the SNP becoming the main opposition to the Labour government. It doesn't matter whether it's a UK-wide party or Scotland-only party or any party that's just in one part of the country. All that matters is bottoms on those green benches, and if the SNP have more bottoms on the green benches compared to the Conservatives, then they would become the main opposition to the Labour government. Right, so there we go then. Further deterioration in the position for the Conservatives during February, and we should wait and see what March's opinion polls have to say when we do the April tracker next month. If you have enjoyed this video, then please you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so very much everybody for doing that, and we shall see you on the next one. Bye for now.